right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with Bassil Hafez. How are we doing?
Oh man, Bassil Hafez. That's
I
funny.
was just about to say, oh, guys, I'm trying to get so long. I was like, it almost sounds like half-assed. That's why I kept trying to do it to get it down.
Yeah, I mean, not half-assed.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, I was practicing that for so long. I knew I was going to mess it up in the moment.
That's all good. Bassil Hafez.
Yes, yes. All right, but anyways, you got that fight coming up in Newark with Mickey Gall. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for it. I've been training my ass off. It's a great camp so far. Reminiscent of the last camp I had against Evan Cuts from the regional, and I'm super excited to really go out there and get a finish and shock the world again.
100%. Now, with you going out there against Mickey Gall, he's had a long layoff. Talk to us a little bit about that long layoff, and how excited are you with that matchup with Mickey Gall?
Yeah, I think it's a great matchup. I really think I'm better everywhere. Honestly, I actually beat him in a grappling tournament like 8 years ago, and so I beat him like a Grappler's Quest Absolute division for the championship belt, and I felt like my grappling was better then, and I feel like I've improved a lot, tremendously in my striking and my wrestling and my jiu-jitsu everywhere since that matchup. And he's coming off a long layoff. I'm not treating that in any way other than maybe he's just been busy training and preparing for his return. I'm preparing for the best Mickey Gall that I'm gonna face, and that has been in the UFC, and I'm ready to get a finish on that Mickey Gall.
Now, with Mickey Gall being from Jersey, do you think you're going to get some booze coming out there for your walkout?
So my dog is chewing his bone right underneath me, bro. So let me just go. Come on. Go. Come on. Hey. Sorry about
that. Take it time. Take it time.
All right. One more time.
What did I say? Mickey Gall. So since he's from Jersey, do you think you're going to be getting a lot of booze? I know you were recently living in Philly not too long ago, but now you're out in Colorado. Do you think you're going to be getting any booze coming out there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Philly, so I'm from the area. So, I think I'm expecting booze. I don't even care if there is booze or not. I know I'm a fan favorite because of my fight style, and so I'm just prepared for people to be cheering. If there's booze, then it just motivates me, man. I've fought in enemy territory a lot of times in my life, actually. So it's not going to be anything that's going to change how I go in there and how I fight. But I'm expecting a good amount of cheers, and I'm expecting a good amount of booze. And if there's no booze, then I'll just take it. I'll take it as it is. But I'm excited to go out there and steal his fans, because I personally believe I'm a better fighter, a more aggressive fighter. He's had an easier road, a lot easier road, and I feel like I've had a harder road. And so I'm excited to really put all that out in the cage and take it out on Mickey.
That definitely makes sense. Now, you mentioned too that you competed a little bit against Mickey Gall in a jiu-jitsu tournament. You also, in another interview, mentioned that you competed against Gordon Ryan, and you lost to him 4-2 in that matchup. But he had you in some couple tight positions, and you were able to escape from him. Talk to us a little bit about that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I basically just went down to compete. This is back when I was a purple belt and he was a brown belt. And I went down and competed in Naga Battle at the Beach. No coaches. I just went in kind of like just to compete. Like I've done a lot of tournaments without coaches, not on purpose, but none of them could make it that day. And I remember the first person I had in my division was, I think it was Gary Tonin. And then out of nowhere, then he made like people signed up late, and it switched from Gary Tonin to Gordon Ryan. And at the time, I didn't know who the heck he was. Like, this is back when he was a brown belt, and very few people knew who he was, but people knew he was good. And I remember when I saw the name, I was like, who's this guy? And then, people that were there, my friends were like, oh, that's the, blah, blah, that guy's really good. He's a good grappler. He's up and comer. He's under Danaher and all that. I'm like, I don't give a shit. All right, let's go. And then, he was really tough. He was good. He had a really good guard defense. He was good at entangling the legs. I passed his guard like I think it was 2 or 3 times. I forgot how many times I passed his guard, but he had me in a really deep leg entanglement. And I guess, they give 2 points for submission attempt and deep submission attempt. So he had me in a deep leg entanglement, like basically almost finished. But, I was able to find a way out of it and got out of it, and wasn't able to get the finish, ended up losing on points. And, I talked to him afterwards, and he gave me respect and props. I was wondering how the hell I got out of his leg entangle, because he had me in like, all the way below the knee line, deep heel hook. And, I just a testament to my toughness and my will not to give up, So I think I would love to face him again one day, in the near future. Maybe when I build my name up a little more. He's been facing a lot of random guys that, like for the show, like Bo Nichols and Phil Rowe, and guys that aren't, I think, anywhere near the level of jiu-jitsu grappler that I am. And so, I'm excited to maybe one day get that rematch. He is the GOAT right now, and people have to put some respect on his name. And it feels good to, have gone to a points decision with the GOAT with no coach in my corner. But, I would love to get that rematch one day. And regardless, I've kind of like taken a little back seat with the grappling competitions. And the last one I did was about 3.5 years ago, or about 3 years ago. And I focused mainly on my MMA because that's where I feel like, I got into this sport to be in the UFC and to chase my dream. And, I think I focused a lot on grappling in the beginning of my career and had injuries and things, and allowed time that I would come back to be like, okay, I'm going to go grapple. And this time it was mainly all MMA. If I had injury or had anything going on, I was going right back into MMA when I came out of it. So I've just had that focus of getting better as a fighter, a striker, overall, all the holes in my game that I would have had. I feel like I've been fixing them, and I'm a lot better fighter than I was before. And I'm excited to continue to prove that. And I'm excited to, get back into grappling competition soon, UFC Fight Pass Invitationals, all that. I want to, when I'm done my career, compete in ADCC and get back to the root of what I'm really good at is grappling. And so, I'm excited. Maybe one day I'll get that rematch, but for now, chasing that glory in the UFC.
Very nice, very nice. Now, you did mention you were originally from Philly, and now you're out in Colorado. How do you think you've improved moving from Philly to Colorado now?
Oh man, I've improved so much. I felt like a lot of the things, like the times in between fights and all the in between stuff is filled with MMA and fighting now. Like that's all that I focus on. I moved here. I didn't know anyone. I moved here to train at a gym, and then ended up switching to Elevation Fight Team and training with pound for pound Muay Thai with Justin Houghton, which has been a blessing. Meeting him and hitting it off, and staying here in Colorado. My cardio's gotten better. My strength conditioning, I've gotten stronger. I feel like I've improved everywhere, honestly. And so it's been a blessing moving here and really putting everything else on the back burner, and the number one focus being my mixed martial arts career. I don't have a lot of time. I'm 32 years old, and I'm going to try and make the most out of the last, 5 to 6 years, or whatever I can get out of my body for the last tail end of my career, and prove that I'm a great fighter. And then, chase whatever is available after that. Maybe I can get a celebrity boxing match, one of those pussy Paul brothers.
That would be awesome. Yeah, celebrity boxing would definitely be a lot of fun. And speaking a little bit about Philly, you mentioned there's a lot of dogs in the gym, and then you're leaving the gym though. There's a lot of those scumbags on the road, that are like flipping you off or just being rude. And I was just dying hearing that because of me being from Philly. It's 100% true. Do you happen to have like a funny story that you like to share about maybe some of those people out there?
Oh man, I honestly has too many road rage incidents to really count them on one hand or even remember one in particular. I mean, it's different. That's the other thing too, man. The lifestyle is different. Like when I was in Philly, I knew a lot of people, man. I knew so many people, and it's a lot of that social life kind of distracts you from the focus at hand. Whether you're not going out that night because you don't have anyone, or you're going out that night because your friends are going to be out. You're like, oh, I'll just meet up with them. The Philly lifestyle was different for me than it is here, and even that includes with the driving. Like driving here is a lot different. I think people are worse drivers here. Like they're really bad at driving. Not just like people say they're assholes, but it's not they're assholes. They just don't. They're not good at it at all. But there's a lot less tough guys here, and a lot less people willing to pull a gun on you or jump at you when you break out, if you break in front of them or whatever it may be. Like in Philly, man, it's tough. As a fighter, we have to be a beast and an animal in the cage. And like when you leave training, it's like hard to turn that off. It's not just like an on and off switch for like a light switch. It's like you have to kind of tone yourself down and kind of woo-saw a little bit. And in Philly, man, if you leave training and you still have that mindset, the next dude that you run into literally just for have no reason will just pull out a gun and shoot you, or they'll try and go after you, or you never know, man. It's just every time I'm in Philly, it's like just stressful because people are all dog eat dog ready to go. And man, I had one time actually. I'll tell you a story. I don't think this is the worst road rage incident that I've had. I've had a lot of random, like just insane scenarios. But one time, this guy was cutting me off real bad, and I went around him. And I remember he got pissed that I went around him, and so he put his winner down, got next to me, and started cursing at me. And I cursed back at him. And I just left training, and I'm still like hyped up. This dude gets out of his car, and goes to get in my face, and goes back. His girlfriend's in the car. He goes back to go grab his pistol, I guess, because he came out, saw me, and then went back to grab his pistol. His girlfriend's like holding it, like, yo, what are you doing? And he's like fighting with his girl to grab the gun. Meanwhile, I didn't have a gun. I was like, yo, you're going to go grab a pistol? I was like, all right, later, bro. I just peeled off. I was like, I ain't trying to get shot when I'm trying to scrap. Like, not the same, man. It's not. Oh, man. Actually, tell you what, I got a better one. I just remembered. This is actually, so this one ended up, the dude ended up getting arrested. So I was in Newtown Square, PA, like right up on Westchester Pike. I was driving, I forget what I was driving towards, but I was driving to something. I had a fight coming up and I was cutting weight. I think I was going to do medicals or something. And I have a green light. I'm in the left lane and I start to drive. And as soon as I start to drive, this guy like almost T-bones me running the red light, right? This big plow truck. And so I swerve out of the way. And when I swerve out of the way and I avoid him, I get pissed. I honk my horn and he flips me off. So I go, I flip him off back and I'm like, you pussy, all that stuff. And he like cuts his truck in front of me and cuts me off like to the side of the road where I can't move, but we're blocking rush hour traffic still. So then he gets out of his truck. I get out of my truck and this dude is like some big burly, wearing a fucking overalls plow guy. And he starts walking towards me and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what are you going to do, motherfucker? What are you going to do? And as I'm saying that, this dude just pulls a fucking monkey wrench like this big out of his like overall pocket and just goes right into like, boom, boom, trying to hit me in the head. I see it coming and I try and duck, hits me the top of the head. I'm like a little dazed. I go to grapple him. I freaking pick him up. I slam him on the hood of my car. He hits the hood and he still has the wrench in his hand. He regathers and he starts hitting me again at the top of the head. And then I pick him up and I spear him onto the concrete. I fully mount the guy. And, I'm like, and people are just walking out of the shopping center and people are just catching on what's going on. And they see just me on top of them mounted. And they're like, get off of that, man. Get off. And you see like a kid on top of a older guy. People are stupid. They're not good at figuring out what's going on. So they're like, get off of him. Get off. I'm like, get the wrench out of his hand. I'm holding him down. Meanwhile, he's fucking going crazy. And then I get the wrench out of his hand and he goes to grab it again. And some other bystander comes up, kicks it out of the way because he sees what's going on. He caught on. And after he kicks it away, I had the guy mounted and I'm like, all right, I was about to lay into this guy, but I'm like, yo, there's all these people watching. I was like, I'm not trying to get arrested. Now I beat the shit out of the guy and he makes up some story. So I get up and I'm like, I'm going to call the cops and this guy's getting arrested because he just attacked me with a wrench. I'm like, yo, I can't go and now unload on him. And what am I going to do? What's my only course of action is like, all right, this dude's going to jail. So I go to my car to get the phone and the other people that were there like, are you okay? Then I saw the wrench and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to call the cops. This dude's not going nowhere. And they're like, yeah, he's leaving. I turn around. This dude got up, grabbed the wrench, jumped in his truck and starts peeling off. So they're like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I got to go. I'm chasing this guy. They're like, what? I jump in my car. Now I'm telling this dude, this guy's going in shoulders and running red lights. And I'm on the phone with the township police, I think. And I was like, yo, I'm following this guy. He attacked me with a wrench. I'm not going to stop following him until you guys get here. And they're like, sir, we'll have it under control. We need you to pull over. I'm like, nah. Y'all, you guys are going to see me tailing this guy and then you can catch it. So like, eventually after like 10 minutes of tailing him, he turns down a road and police officer coming down this way. I'm out the window, my hand like this. Like, this is him. Cop pulls up, gets behind him, puts the lights on, ends up fighting the weapon, a little blood on it, and then, arrests the guy. And, he ended up going to jail that night. But it was, that's probably the craziest road rage incident I had where, it's just like, it's an example of like in Philly, it's like people just don't care, man. They kind of just like are like, F it. They just want to have problems. Even though they don't know how to fight, they just want to have problems with you.
Oh yeah, 100%, and especially like Newtown Square too. I know exactly where that is. That's actually pretty crazy.
Right? Okay, so we're like which is it? Which where the Blockbuster used to be there?
Oh yeah.
So right past that Blockbuster is that like shopping center, skinny shopping center on the right hand side, and then the left hand side is like where the McDonald's and there's like a AC Moore, I think, or a Giant, I think, or Super Acme or something like that. So it was right in front of all that. It happened like at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Oh wow. Yeah. I just especially not surprised. Yeah, right in broad daylight too.
Yeah, it was great. And it was one of them big pipe wrenches, like the big ones that have the adjustable knob on it, like the heaviest thing. But I tell you what, that was the only time I ever got a concussion. It was from that.
Oh yeah, I believe.
Yeah, I had to pull out of the fight. It was a pain in the butt, but I got a read what we got.
Jesus, yeah, well, that's definitely a nutty story. I definitely wasn't expecting, but again, I'm not surprised. Philly's definitely crazy. Now, getting back to your fight, though, man. I mean, with Mickey Gall coming up, I mean, are you watching a lot of film on him, or do you just kind of prepare for fights, like just kind of you just work on your strengths and just kind of go from there?
I mean, to an extent, I watch a little film. I'm not sitting there studying the guy every day. I'm thinking about him every day. I'm thinking about beating the crap out of him and punching his mouth, but I'm not studying film on him. I already I've seen Mickey fight. I've competed against him in grappling. I know he's gotten better, but I also understand where he's at now. And, nothing's going to change from, watching more film to just watching enough to understand what stance he's in and what, his specialties are. And it's really just that. At that point, it's just, I seen what I seen already. I'm not out here watching film on him. I'm just ready to go fight him. I'm just preparing in every way to be able to dominate this guy. And that's my goal, to go out there, fight night, and get my hand raised this time and not have it be left to the judges. My goal is to get a finish this time and, definitely re-earn my place again. And every time I fight, I'm going to have to earn my place. And that's the thing. Some guys forget, that where they stand, and you're only as good as your last performance, and you're only going to be as good as your next one. So my goal is to put on an amazing performance and hopefully get a finish.
100%. Now, you mentioned, obviously, if you go out there and you get a win against Mickey Gall, that would be huge for you. Do you happen to have any guys in the future that you're looking to fight, maybe after Mickey Gall?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of guys I'm going to fight. I would say, I'm not big on pre-calling out people and talking a lot of shit, unless it's at a press conference or, someone's purposely trying to get at me. I know there's some guys who know I want to fight them in the UFC. They already know who they are. My friends and family know who they are. I'm going to wait until, I'm ranked or I'm close to that point where I can call them out and have them next fight. I'm not a big fan of like, hey, I'm going to fight you a couple fights from now. Unless it's the next fight, and fuck off. Like I'm only worried about the next guy. And so for me, the next guy is Mickey Gall. Mickey Gall, I'm training for the best Mickey Gall that he's going to be. And, I'm excited to go out there and hopefully get a bonus, hopefully get a finish. And, from that point, I'll focus on the next one. And hopefully one day when I'm ranked, then I can call it who the hell I want.
Oh, yeah. Now, with that being said, too, you always mention that, you like to go out there when you're fighting and you're trying to punch those guys as hard as you can in the face and see how they can take it. Do you think Mickey Gall is going to be able to take your power in this fight?
We'll see. I don't think he will.
I like it. Very good. Now, with that being said, I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I've been teaching for 20 years now. I've been training for 20 years now, and I've been teaching for 6 years. With that being said, I have a lot of guys at my gym. What advice would you give to those guys to keep getting better and better every single day in the gym?
Oh man, the best advice I can give for a young up and coming fighter is really focus on the techniques. Don't focus so much on all the outside noise and all the glitz and glamour of fighting. All the technique that you train day in and day out, right? Learning as much as you can and drilling it. The years down the road where you eventually get to where you want to be is when you'll be able to use all those techniques that you should have gotten better at in the beginning. And so don't focus on the flashy stuff, focus on the basics. Do the basics the best, and you learn to see that some of the best guys in the world are just the ones that do the basics the most efficiently. And don't be discouraged. This is going to be a sport that's going to tear you down constantly. I don't care if you're undefeated. There's going to be things that tear you down in it. You have to be resilient. And you have to be able to continue to push and fight through all the negative things that might happen to you and understand that it's all for the better. It's all to toughen you and make you a better fighter, a better person. So stick to the basics, focus on the things that you should be doing, like technique and drilling, and fight as much as you can so you can really find out who you are as a fighter. I think I may have went pro sooner than I wanted to, or than I thought I should have. Just because I feel like I wasn't fighting the way I am fighting now, right? But that comes with experience. So don't rush it. Get your experience, fight, find out who you are as a fighter and what it is that makes you tick and what you like to do, and then go out there and just do it all the time and just do it without anyone trying to stop you.
100%. No, I definitely think that's a great message. And, speaking of messages, what's a good final message out there for the fans that are going to be watching this video?
Oh man, make sure you tune in on June 1st, UFC 302. You're going to see fireworks. Every time you see me fight, you're going to see fireworks, and place your bets.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And we're ready to win some money. Bassil, thanks so much for coming on the show, man. It means a lot to me. And we're looking forward to your fight June 1st. I'm going to be there live in Newark, and we're looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on, Kevin.
Man, thank you so much.
Out there and prove it. Cool.
My man. All right. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. You too, man.
All right, man. Take care.